Before yes? I'll tell you when to kill it.
You know who you're leaving this up to, you know.
Leaving what up to?
Turning it off. I mean, I appreciate you putting all this faith in me, but...
No, Neil...
I'll give you plenty of time, okay?
But I have
the dump button, so even if you should let it go the first time, which I can't imagine anybody being that stupid, even you.
Well, I'm just hope my Tourette syndrome doesn't...
Yeah, see, he wants to let it go. I'm going to get hell for just even...
Oh, you're going to talk it up, though, aren't you?
No.
Oh,
I don't want to step on August Moon, okay? I might step on Peter Moon, but I don't want to step on August Moon.
And the spur-of-the-moment band.
Yeah, them too.
Well, I was driving down I-95 the other night. Somebody nearly cut me right off the road. I decided it wasn't going to do any good to get mad, so I wrote a song about him instead. It goes like this.
Okay, that's as far as we go. I think that's as far as we go.
Wasn't it great to hear it in stereo?
Oh, gee, I just have so much confidence in him. I said that's as far as we go, and then he had this, little lapse. His reflexes suddenly got very slow, but that was good to hear again, wouldn't it?
I had never heard it in stereo,
and hearing the whole thing would really be something. That would be a first over here, wouldn't it? But in the last...
ought to blank out that I could work?
No, they did that on the AM, and somebody from Portland had a nervous Nelly attack the the other day. And
even with bleeps on it?
Even with the bleeps in there, just absolutely went bananas. A man who's put all of our lives in jeopardy, even Art Fleming never saw the kind of jeopardy he's put all of us in, and yet he comes down here, has the unmitigated gall to start being nervous Nelly again. I'll get their house now! Take it off! I'm going to come down there with spears, I'm going to knock all of you into the wall, I'm going to tear you apart, take it off right now, or else I'm going to...
That's
and, I know, it's just so ridiculous, and they've taken away 80% of our... See, I want to go on record today very clearly, because it's one thing they say, hey, well, we don't care. Okay, fine. That's great. We care. Okay? I mean, there's just no way you can have any self-respect in this business when they take away 70 or 80% of your material and you can't even say good morning without somebody raising an eyebrow and say, well, gee, what did he mean by that? Wasn't that kind of dirty the way he said that? And they do that to you. And so I just want to say it so that people are aware that we have no choice. I mean, they've taken away 99% really anything we can do. And so here we are, and we're just showing up every day. We're having a great time, and there's all kinds of spots on the log, and everything is wonderful.
And some of the spots are a little riskier than we are.
That's true. Some of the commercials have some pretty risky, some dirty stuff in there, to be honest with you. And some of the music that they program the rest of the day, many of the records have some really, if I repeated some of the words that are in those songs, we'd be history by 7 o'clock, okay? They'd be down here with a Zeta van to drag us all away.
I've got one right here.
Well, don't push your luck, okay? Let's not hear. Let's let them play it on the rest of the day so we don't get hell for that. But that's just the way it is. And there are those people out there. You've heard some of the calls when I was on with Stan that day last week, and some caller, and his intentions were good. I understand where he's coming from, and he's giving, you're too important to them, and you got these big ratings and this and that, and why don't you, you always stood up and you never took crap from management and this. But the point is, you get to a certain point, and it's like you have a choice to make. Either you continue paying your bills and having a livelihood, or, you're out on the beach like Johnny Dark. No, it's true, and in this business, even when you think you're on top of the world, you've seen too many other people, like friends of ours, who've been out of work for too long, because that's the kind of business it is, especially if you have any talent. If you're a no-talent douchebag, man, you get a job like that, no problem.
That's funny that you mention that, because they're showing job service right now.
Exactly. Well, you better take some notes, okay?
You must know how to read a ruler.
Portland doesn't listen to the music. They don't listen to the rest of the day.
No.
They just listen to the talk shows.
Yeah.
They can't so that's why they get away with playing those records. Portland doesn't
And that's why
that.
the AM gets away with murder, too, because nobody is listening over there. So when they do something really outrageous, disgusting, and vulgar, nobody cares because nobody is listening to it. Okay?
So if a tree falls in the forest...
That's an interesting question. If a tree falls in the forest,
and there's no one there...
anybody listening in Palm Beach County? That is one of the things that I've wondered. Ever since I was a child, I always wondered about that. If that big oak tree falls in the forest, does anybody in Palm Beach hear it?
So the question is, when they say those words on the AM... That's why nobody
hears it, because there's nobody in Palm Beach County listening. And, of course, Dade and Broward, that's another whole ballgame. That's a story that we can't even begin to get into here. That's so it's so sordid, the Dade Broward story. 6:30 on Zeta 4, your non-communicative station here on a Tuesday morning.
Well, Clarence just called.
Did he really? Well, that's wonderful. Isn't it nice to know that we're not taking calls, but Clarence still called in?
Yeah.
What did he say?
One of these days I'm going to find him, and I'm just going to put my hands around his neck and just beat the crap out of him.
Really?
But for now, I enjoy having him call.
Now you're taking it personally. Now you're getting testy.
No, I'm not taking it
hostile.
personally. I just have this desire just to beat the crap out of somebody.
No, it is an interesting study in psychology, the fact that here is somebody who despises me allegedly to such a degree, and yet is there every day.
Hanging on
if there
every
was
word.
nobody else out there in the audience, no one, you'd know at least that Clarence would be there, okay?
Now, see, it seems to me if I didn't like a TV host or a radio
you
host,
turn it off.
I wouldn't watch.
Now, see, that's what most of us would do, but there's something out there. There's this compulsion, this obsession. In fact, we do have people who despise, would like to see us just writhing in agony on the rack.
Twisting in the wind.
Who make a point of listening every single day, who wouldn't miss a minute if their lives depended upon it, okay? If the house was burning,
there's a lot of people
they'd
like
go up
that.
in flames with it because they wouldn't have the time to divert their attention from this program.
And the Orwellian thing about it is he hates us so much, and now he's like a character on the show. So if somebody
I
ran
think he's
into him
getting
on
a
the street,
vicarious thrill, and they'd say, "Hey, Clarence, heard you this morning."
Yeah, hey, are you Clarence?
that SOB, I'm on his show. I'm going to get to him, boy. I
They
can't
probably
stand it.
ask for his autograph.
Yeah, he probably will be showing up signing pictures at our next thing.
Maybe we can put him on our t-shirts.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Some strange people show up at our things, 6:32 on Zeta 4, and we haven't taken any calls. It's almost an hour that's gone by, and I don't really feel any guilt or any pressure from it. I don't feel that we've done anything evil. I don't feel any void in my life. Do you?
No, we have a feeling like we haven't missed anything.
Hey, that was a very good way of putting it. I couldn't have said it better myself.
That's
we
a feeling I
haven't
have.
really missed a thing. We probably missed several people saying,
Oh, hey, we really love your show, and oh, it's great, and you and Hi to the Bird and Captain Dave, and have a wonderful day, and adios, arrivederci.
These are pretty terminal phone calls.
Yeah. And it's just the kind of town it is. And like I've said for years, if the people on the air can't be more entertaining than a bunch of would-be amateur hour, would-be whatever they are, would-be human beings out there in the audience, then there's something wrong.
Well, 3 of them.
So maybe once in a while on the show from now on, we'll take a call or two, and that's it.
It's a good idea. The first 3 that I answered asked, is Neil there? So it might not be a good idea.
Yeah, they're really sharp.
Wow.
Sharp as a matzo ball on a soggy July day, okay?
Now, that's a good question, don't you think?
What, is Neil there? Is he? That is a good question, and we'll be having the answer for that in the 7 o'clock hour, so be sure to call all your friends and neighbors and say, hey, guess what? Guess what, y'all? I could do the whole show. We could do our convenience store show, and we could talk about rednecks and pickled eggs and sausages.
Sure.
And, of course, now that they also have lottery tickets, man, you can camp out at U-Totem, you know what I mean? You can just take your brown bag and go down there and camp out the whole day and have a couple of pickled eggs and buy some lottery tickets and scratch them off and...
Well, I'm kind of a Circle K guy myself.
Get some of that Red Man and put a little chaw in there. And, hey, what the hell else could anybody want? And then by 3 o'clock, you'd be brown bagging it with a bud and a little brown bag out in the parking lot meeting all the other brown baggers. That's what life is all about. Johnny Dark?
Johnny Depp, maybe.
Johnny Depp?
Outside the convenience store. Well, I always think
don't
of that.
know. Johnny Depp's got a little more class than that, doesn't he?
Well, he lived outside a convenience store one time.
Oh, but he was in his car. He only went inside for real urgent necessities. Like he'd go in to see Mr. Whipple every once in a while.
I bet.
Don't you wonder about that when somebody lives in their car, like, how do they take a shower? I mean, the windshield wipers don't do that good of a job, even if you got good washers. It's just...
Sort of
like
Vietnam, when it starts to rain, you grab a bar of soap and whip all your clothes off and run out
Hey, now
there.
listen, that's a hell of a good idea. If Rick Weaver's listening to the show right now, we got a 70% chance of showers this morning.
That's right. It's a good day.
So if anybody in the neighborhood's got an extra bar of Right Guard or of Dial, rather, or a Right Guard couldn't hurt, too, for a little afterward. But some Dial or Ivory or Irish Spring or something, just grab a bar and head on out there. Just stand outside for a couple hours, stark naked.
It works.
And when it starts coming down, man, lather yourself up, and God, it's a free shower.
That's right, it works.
And it'll make headlines. I bet you he'd make CNN and UPI and the whole bit. Don't you think?
Sure.
It would certainly be a major news event in this town. 6:35 on Zeta 4, WZTA, Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beaches, Ogis, Delray, Deerfield, and for all you antiques in Dania. And we'll come right back.
The Neil Rogers Show.
Unbelievable.
Even the competition agrees. It's the best morning show in South Florida.
Now you can take part in radio history with the first collector's edition Zeta Morning Show t-shirts.
Grab them now. They're available only at participating South Florida specs, crop tops, tank tops, t-shirts, even triple extra large. All in living color and all
unbelievable. Buy a Zeta Morning Show And $1 goes to help the Camilla's House feed the homeless.
Wear a Zeta Morning Show shirt and find out how to make friends and influence people.
But most of all, keep your radio locked on Zeta 4 with Neil Rogers all morning.
And classic rock all day. 94.9 Zeta 4.
T-shirts produced by Creme de Coconuts.
Neil Rogers, the rock and roll monster.
That's Player in this time of minute for love. It's 18 till 7 on your antiseptic station, Zeta 4. Are you having a good time there with USA Today? I notice you're looking at a lot of pictures this morning.
Colors. I'm into colors.
Are you really? Mm-hmm. Okay, boys and girls, let's get out our Crayolas this morning, and let's take the Miami Herald and the Sun Sentinel.
And colorize it.
And all the bland black and white newspapers that Mommy and Daddy are trying to read this morning while they're busy taking their shower or whatever else they're doing. Get out your Crayolas and color it up, you know? Like take some red, for example. I go over where it talks about those commie pinkos. And just smear red all over it to the point where Mommy and Daddy can't even read it anymore because it's kind of depressing anyway, right? Or it says something about the Kremlin and Gorbachev and the summit.
Now, this is important. Into this baseball player's fashion.
I think that is pretty important. And now, who is this?
Much more important than that other stuff.
Look at that, all dolled up. R.J. Reynolds. Isn't that exciting? And I like his tobacco company, by the way. They're one of my favorites.
Really?
And here's Barry Bonds and Mike Diaz.
All in color.
And Jeff Robinson. And Darryl Coles. And John Cangelosi. I don't have any idea who the hell that is. Oh, he's from Hialeah?
Is he?
I never heard of John Cangelosi at all. Anyway, this is about baseball players' fashions. Oh, these are the Pirates. Oh, excuse me. I don't know who John Cangelosi is. I don't have any idea.
Get with it. Come on.
Well, that goes to show you. That's why I'm out of touch, okay? I mean, really I do recognize these other people, but Darnell Coles and Barry Bonds and R.J. Reynolds. But what the hell can I say that we haven't said? Suiting up the Pirates in the styles of summer. And we got a full page with color pictures and diagrams and body parts, and I don't think we can discuss that any further.
See? And
who's that on the front here without too much clothes on? Now, who is that? That's George Lynch.
I don't know, George.
Dawkins, George Lynch. Who's Dawkin?
I don't know.
Did you ever hear of Dawkin? Dokin? Dukin?
Not me.
George Lynch rips into an ear blaster at the weekend kickoff to the Heavy Metal Monsters of Rock tour.
Oh, that's that.
In other words, that isn't a group on that's in your repertoire, Dawkin?
No.
Is there anybody in the audience who's Dawkin? I know Otis Redding be sitting Dawkin on the bay, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah, Dawkins, yeah. Dawkin, yeah. That's with Van Halen. They're going to be here Saturday night in Miami. That's that Monster.
What do you mean it's with Van Halen? What has he got to do with Van Halen?
It's a tour.
They're playing with Van Halen, so to speak, yeah.
Eddie Van Halen. Who they say.
But who the hell be Dawkin?
I don't know.
Is there anybody in the audience who knows Dawkin?
Heavy metal.
Not this crowd. This audience don't know Dawkin from Sockin', okay?
971 tons of sound, stage, and lighting gear for the Monsters of Rock tour.
Wow.
And this town has really just gone crazy about it, hasn't it?
You hear about it all the time.
7 of those pinheads who are into that stuff are going to be there with bells on, man. They're just going nuts. This is their one big chance, 6:45 on Zeta 4, and time for this.
Hello, I'm McAllister Schnook, and tonight on Masterpiece Theatre, Episode 6 of The Spuds McKenzie Chronicles. As you'll recall, when we last left our pooch-faced protagonist, he was seated poolside, wearing his customary dark glasses and wildly playing his bongos. This bizarre, percussive exhibition apparently acted as an aphrodisiac on the scantily clad bimbos attending this hedonistic affair. And within moments, these nubile nymphettes were stroking Spud's head and clearly displaying a perverse sexual attraction to him. Well, quite a dilemma, for as we shall see tonight, Spuds is about to go into heat and begin a torrid affair with that little doggy who chases the chuckwagon stagecoach across the kitchen floor and under the sink. So, do join us, won't you, for Masterpiece Theatre. I'm McAllister Schnook.
Dawkins.
Yeah. I know we'd get him on real quick like. DJ Dawkins. I'll tell you how comatose the audience is this morning. Now, there's got to be somebody out there who knows from Dawkins, okay?
Sure.
And you ask him, and it, like still nothing. Like there's a couple of blinks here and there. These people are dead. The Walking Dead. Or the Laying Down Dead. It is frightening, isn't it? But have no fear. The rain is just pouring down cats and dogs. And they're pretty happy about it at the Santeria house. 647, 13 till 7 on Zeta 4. You're absolutely, totally responseless station. Man, this town, boy, just absolutely dead, isn't it?
You're right about this day.
Totally and thoroughly. This could be, remember the song, The Night Chicago Died?
Sure. Of course I do.
This could be the day that South Florida, the whole part of it, just died. It's been like an intensive care for a long time. But this could be the turning point. Like somebody turned off the oxygen.
Have you been in the 8-track room the past couple of days? I
No.
think it's because of the rain, but it smells like sewage in there.
Oh, no, J. Michaels just came back from the Bahamas again.
It does.
He just brought some souvenirs back from the Bahamas, from that one hotel, where they have the shaggy dog smell in the elevator. It smells like sewage in there?
It makes you finish the commercials faster.
Wow. Maybe that's part of the tactic, to get people in and out of there a lot faster. Anyway, we have food from Shell's coming up later on today. We got seafood, so we're not worried about it. We'll survive. We got our food coming. We got 1 hour already killed here this morning, almost exactly an hour.
Boy, it's pouring down.
And the rain is coming down like crazy. It's just pelting down here in Carroll City. It is brutal. And it's gray and dank, and now I know how Noah felt. I'm serial. This has gone on for days and days and days on end, and no relief in sight.
That'll end.
When?
This week.
You're sure? Is that an official prognostication on your part?
I do the weather, don't I? I know what I'm talking about.
Is that
right?
it? Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not going to end tomorrow, but by the weekend.
You've been talking to that guy on WWR, haven't you? Lloyd Lindsay Young? Hello, Homestead!
I can't stand that guy.
Oh, he's great.
I
How
like
can you
him.
say that? He's funny.
He's such a geek, man.
I like
Well,
him.
he's no Walter Cronice, but you can't do everything, okay?
Now, does
Or Bob
Glen-
Soper.
Yeah.
Do you have the seal of approval from the American Meteorological Society?
Yeah, he has the squeal of approval, right.
Well, let's just see if my prediction comes true.
That it's going to
Go through
end
this week.
sometime?
By the weekend.
Would be something if it never ended, wouldn't it? If it just goes on like this forever, because I get that feeling. It's just horrible. Gray and dank and depressed. No wonder these bastards out there don't want to get out of bed and go to the phone and do anything. They want to just lie there and never get out.
It's understandable.
Remember that time? It was, I think it was either 80 or 81. It was like this for 2 months. We kept a record of it. Every day was either cloudy or it continually rained.
That's true.
Boy, summertimes are swell in South Florida.
Oh, does this mean it's news time?
Sure does. That's your cue.
All right, 10 before 7 on Zeta, and we missed it because of the clouds, but this was the morning at 6:53,
No,
which
you
is
still
3
have 3
minutes
minutes,
away,
yeah.
but you can't see it. The blue moon that I talked about last week. And, of course, this only happens once in a blue moon. There is a blue moon up there today. Now, actually, today's event has nothing to do with the color of the moon. It's actually the second appearance of a full moon in the same month. However, officials at the U.S. Naval Observatory in Washington say there is such a thing as a condition in which small particles in the atmosphere make the moon look blue. But they say this doesn't happen often. It happens about once in a blue moon. So we missed it today, sorry.
I saw some of the light from it, but not the
Yeah.
moon.
A luckless man has been charged with a string of robberies in which he took...
Wait a minute. Hold it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you sure you don't want to recap?
So anyway, there is a blue moon this morning,
Yeah.
6:53, which is about 2 minutes away.
But it's not really a blue moon.
No,
It's
and we
figuratively.
can't see it because it's all overcast
Yeah.
out there anyway.
Now, like I said before, there's nothing I hate worse than novelty records, okay?
You know, that was worth waiting for. Anyway, a luckless man has been charged with a string of robberies in which he took 1,500 lottery tickets in hopes of winning the jackpot. 20-year-old Johnny Cooper didn't get the $1 million winner. Police in Miami said he was booked on charges of armed robbery and grand theft in connection with 3 separate robberies of 7-Eleven stores last week. Detective Jose Iglesias says it was the first case Metro-Dade detectives knew of which a robber only took tickets. He didn't take any money, didn't take any food, nothing. Just tickets.
Boy,
Good for him.
priorities.
Mostly cloudy today. Showers and thunderstorms are likely. Rain chance 70%. High only in the low 80s. Tonight, still a good chance of showers, low 74. And it's 74 this morning on Theta. It's 6:52.
6 minutes till 7 on Zeta 4. And because food's coming in just a little bit from the shelves this morning, I thought maybe this might just kind of fit into the tenor of the whole show.
Dave Caprita, the guy I'd like to meet. Dave Caprita, when is it time to eat? Dave Caprita, I don't mean eat him, he isn't food, although I know some guys who would. Mercy, what do I see? Is that home intoxication for me? No, Dave Caprita.
Okay, it's 6:55 now. We weren't going to take any calls at all, but we do have a Dockin fan on the phone. Is this correct?
Yeah, Neil, that's me.
Now, what be Dockin, sir?
Dockin be like a 2-bit heavy metal band. They're really not much. They've been opening acts for like the past 7 years. You know?
Really? Oh, in other words, they just come out and they tease for the
jam
audience.
for about 30, 45 minutes,
Yeah.
and then they go back, collect a small check, and go home.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
No, they sing a song, Tooth and Nail, and a couple others. I'm going to the concert, but I'm not going to go see Dockin.
No, I don't think too many people are grabbing up Dockin tickets.
No, not really. When they come on, I think that's when I'm going to go buy my shirt and whatnot.
But wasn't it great, though, that they chose in USA Today to put a big picture of the lead singer from Dockin in there? I think
I know
that's
it,
great.
and there's so many other groups, like the Scorpions. You know, that's a big group.
Yeah, really.
And they're not even headlining them. You know, it's like, Dockin. You know, like, who cares about
Well,
Dockin?
but wait a minute. There's another way to look at it. Isn't it about time after all these years and all these months that they've been going out there and doing their thing and probably making very little money and getting no publicity? Isn't it nice that somebody finally recognized them?
Yeah, I guess so. All right, Dockin, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All
There you
right.
go,
Let's
Doc.
hear it for Dockin, right?
This one's for Dockin. You know, I'm going to go and just, yell my brains out just for Dockin.
Exactly. I think we ought to have a gigantic group of Dockin fans here for that.
See, I'm more of a, Scorpions, Metallica, and Van Halen fan. than
Oh, yeah.
Dockin fan.
Kingdom come.
But, Neil, I
I will
wanted
be
to
done.
ask if, since I'm going
On
to
earth
the
as it is
concert,
in
and I
heaven.
know that you're going to hate to miss the concert and whatnot, so I was wondering if you want me to I'd like to bring you back a shirt,
I'd love it.
Dockin
Yeah,
shirt.
I'd give anything for a Dockin shirt.
You want a Dockin shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you a Dockin shirt.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to that with bated breath, okay?
Hey, Neil, I wanted to ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
You heard that new Cheap Trick yet?
No.
And it is a good tune. The Flame.
Yeah, but you said new.
Lackluster-
You said
lackluster.
Wait a minute. You
Wait, I'm sorry?
said new.
Yeah, it's new.
Well, see, new is we don't play from new around here, okay? We don't know what's
No,
new.
that's during the day, Neil. When it's the Neil Rogers show, it's
He's
like
got a point.
anything goes, just about, right?
Okay, I'll go out and buy it today, and we'll play it tomorrow, okay?
Okay, Neil, you got a deal.
Okay.
All right, see you after the concert.
Okay, Dockin.
Take it easy, dude.
Bye. 6:57 on Zeta 4. No, that's true. I got to go out and buy anything we want to play on this show, and it's really like kind of a joke at this point, isn't it?
Well, maybe we should alternate. Like 1 week Glenn buy about 4 or 5 CDs, and the next week I could buy a few, and pretty soon we'd have
Yeah,
our
the only
own
station
library.
in America where the morning team has to go out and build the library. I never heard of such a thing. I keep saying that, and Rose never in any way acknowledges that.
Well,
Like they
like it that
replaced
way.
one CD.
No,
that I
there's
bought.
2 or 3.
2 or 3?
As a matter of fact, all these that says new CDs on the door.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. They reimbursed me. In other words, they gave me back
Oh, yeah.
the
One.
Birds. Okay, the best of the Birds.
Apropos.
And the Guess Who and the Animals, and I do see them in the record stores constantly, so it's not like they don't exist.
Well, they
But
don't
I
have...
just get this feeling that they kind of like the fact that I'm spending 80% of my paycheck going out and building the library up. You know, it's a little ridiculous. It's like working. It's kind of like a minus cash flow situation. Okay.
Well, you can write it off, though. You can write all those
I
off.
don't want to write it off. I want them to go out and do something. I want them to get their stuff together, okay, and go out and build a library. And if we're going to be classic anything, you got to have material. You can't just keep playing the same, 800 CDs, 750 of which we don't play because there's nothing on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do have this expansive library in the other room there, but if you notice, most of it doesn't get played. There's a lot of stuff in there that's just gathering dust on those shelves.
You mean we don't play
like the best of Dokken? We don't play that.
CD?
Yeah, right.
We don't play NX.
Oh, God. 6:59, yeah, and Whitesnake. 6:59 on Zeta 4. Here's a quick look at those scores again. And as I said at the beginning of the show, I don't want to discuss this. I don't want to get into it. And it's obvious the audience, right from the beginning, didn't want to discuss this or anything else with us either. Celtics beat Detroit yesterday 79-78. I don't want to hear about it. I see the word weird there on the USA Today sports section. Weird doesn't come close to describing it. It was an exhibition. It was shameful, disgraceful. Both teams ought to hang their heads in shame. And they all ought to be arrested for impersonating professional basketball players. It was disgusting, okay? In Major League Baseball, in the American League, Indians 4, the Royals 1. Texas 6, Minnesota 1. Brewers beat Toronto 4-1. Mariners beat the O's 4-1. Red Sox 5, the Angels 2. And in 14 innings, the A's beat the damn Yankees 3-2.
Good game.
National League, Pirates beat the Braves 14-2. Cubs 12, the Reds 3. Phillies 7, the Padres 3. The Expos over the Giants 3-2. The Astros beat the Cardinals 5-4, and the Mets beat the Dodgers in last night's big ABC extravaganza. In the first of two, as a matter of fact, it was the Mets 3 and the Dodgers 2. 7 o'clock exactly on Worcester, WZTA, Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and the Palm Beaches.
So, sis, what'd you and Rob do last night?
Well, since it was our anniversary, we thought we'd celebrating birthdays today. Michael J. Fox turns 26, Harry Hamlin's hair is 35, and Spuds McKenzie is 56 in Robin Leach years.
Is there a doctor in the house?
This woman is having a merry heart attack.
People are buying more Twizzlers for Leonard Maltin.
If she doesn't receive immediate medical attention, she'll go into permanent syndication.
In medical news, I've just received 200 cc's of lidocaine and had these electrodes attached to my chest.
Learn and recognize the early warning signs. An uncontrollable crossing and uncrossing of legs. Excessive perkiness. And an annoying preoccupation with the superficial.
And Rob Lowe's favorite Beatle is Ringo.
Please help. Call your local Merry Heart Association today. Because just one Merry Heart is too many.
Okay, and I wonder how many times that show's on today. What, about 6 or 7?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait.
The more, the better.
It's 7:01 on Zeta 4. You're a phone callless station. They say that when you stop, like in baseball or any other sport, whatever it is, or I guess actors too, the same thing. When you stop having fun, that's the time to retire, okay? Mm-hmm. And I got to be honest with you, I'm just not having fun this morning. Are you having fun?
I am.
Yeah, you're always having fun. That's the problem. As long as you're working, you're having fun.
I wouldn't say I'm having a bad time.
Now, see, that's a cop-out. That's not a direct answer. That's an evasive
that's
answer.
Right. That's correct.
To my question. I'm not having fun because it's so depressing. It's like standing up on an empty stage and giving all your best material and really belting it all out. And the audience is just like...
not there.
Comatose, yeah. This town, man, just puts you into into a Rip Van Winkle kind of mentality. So anyway.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm just not having fun. It's time to hang it up, I think. I mean, there's like a message in this. I think that there comes a time, like the song says, we are the world. There comes a time when it's time.
Now, don't overreact, okay?
Yeah, really.
You're going to feel a lot better when Shells comes in here.
With the food?
Yeah.
But you can't eat for 4 hours every day, although it is certainly something to think about.
I don't know about that.
It's too bad we don't have any cards or something.
Yeah, we can get a card game going this morning. How about Old Maid? That would be good for this town.
How about Go Fish?
Yeah, Old Maid and Go Fish, yeah. Or Go Fish Old Maid, I think would be excellent, okay, for all our friends in Hallandale. You know, I just want to suggest something to you. When you get in your automobile this morning and you drive out and you wonder where the usual traffic jam is and where... There's nobody out there, friends, okay? They've all left town over the weekend.
Well, they sure weren't out yesterday. It was like a ghost town.
Really?
Yesterday. Didn't you?
When you get the feeling like we're all alone, like everybody is gone?
Or dead.
Yeah. Is it possible everybody died over the weekend and nobody, it didn't make the paper yet?
Like on the beach.
Do we have a Herald yet?
No.
No, aha!
See?
That's the first piece of evidence. You know why? The delivery boys, how can I put it delicately, okay?
So this is like a movie, huh?
Yeah. This is like, now what was that movie with Charlton Heston?
Oh, The Omega Man.
The Omega Man, yeah. Now, that was a good movie. Even with a fascist like Charlton Heston in there, it was a good movie. And, no, seriously. And, in fact, years before that, the original one was with Vincent Price, and it had a different name, but it was the same story.
Mm-hmm.
And it was after after this nuclear holocaust, and there were just a handful of people left.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all running around looting supermarkets, trying to find something that was edible, and just totally paranoid, running around with guns, ready to shoot anybody else that they perceived to be a threat.
Sort of like Miami now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kind of like going into Miami right now. You know what I mean?
Boy, this is going to make you feel better.
Is it really?
The weather today.
Oh, geez. 4 minutes after 7 on Zeta 4. Do we have to do this? It has cleared up a little bit. Still,
I see some blue. I see
still a couple of raindrops dripping down in Carroll City, but there is a little tiny patch of blue.
But wait till you hear this. Mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms likely. Rain chance 70% today. High only in the low 80s. Tonight,
I feel like Rick and Spuds, you know, how they come on and they're yawning and they just can't wake up in the morning. That's how I feel. Like I want to go back to sleep. I mean, if the audience wants to be asleep, we can be asleep, too.
Ooh,
okay?
With the window open and the rain trickling outside.
Tonight, there'll still be a good chance of showers, low about 74.
I think we might even play the rest of that record that we started playing before, you know, August and the...
Spur of the Moment.
Spur of the Moment band, yeah.
Yeah.
That would wake him up.
It sure would. 74 degrees this morning at Zeta 4, and it's coming up on 6 after 7.
7:07 on Zeta 4 on a just wonderful Tuesday morning, man. This is so good that I'm ready to go back home and start putting weenies back on the grill.
Wheaties?
Yeah, Wheaties on the grill. I bet you Bruce Jenner cooks his Wheaties on the grill, don't you think? Anyway, there's a little patch of blue. I was thinking maybe we could do a play-by-play on the clouds, on the cloud cover, because there's some real heavy cumulus over here and some cirrus, like up in the upper atmosphere there. Some wispy cirrus.
That's the first blue I've seen since, like, last Thursday.
Yeah, they're a little bit... Well, yesterday when I left, when I went home, as you got north of State Road 84, it wasn't raining anymore, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. And then, of course, within 30 minutes, it was pouring cats and dogs up by me. But so there were moments.
Yeah.
And when you're on the air, of course, if there were people listening this morning, which there aren't, but if there were, you know, it's kind of bizarre because there are people listening in certain places where the sun is shining and it's pretty decent. And then there are other people where it's just pouring down, and you're sitting here and you're saying all these things, and you can only judge by looking out this little window.
Right.
And your perspective is limited. But I will say this, the wind is blowing at a pretty brisk rate in the upper atmosphere there, and it's zipping by those lower, dark, dank. And look at that. Look how it's clearing up even as we speak. I'm serial. Look at that.
I don't think it's going to last. I think it's going to come back, the clouds and the rain. I do. I think it's, this is just...
what are you, some kind of a communist?
Just a brief...
Why do you have to say those things?
I don't want to get your hopes up.
Can't you be at least a little optimistic? Do we have to sit here and hope that it's dank and gray and disgusting
I'm not going to be optimistic.
For weeks on end?
I'm going to be realistic. Sorry.
Oh, God. You're going to be in this town and you're going to be realistic? I don't think you're going to survive. I couldn't do it. I have to blue sky myself, if you pardon that expression, all the time.
That's why you're doing that. Because of Bruce Singer.
Exactly. Oh, look at that. Look at that
See?
blue up there. Look at
like
that little hole in the sky there.
Bruce Singer Jr.
That matches Bruce's the hole in the head. It's 7:09 on Zeta 4, and I'm going to give the numbers out one time. And because you know something, I'm thinking to myself, who am I kidding, okay? In other words, the only reason we've been doing what we've been doing for the last hour and 20 minutes is because we have an audience that doesn't, you know, they got on a new tangent now. It's like we've gone into yet another phase of apathy. So therefore, we're working 5 times as hard and just straining here to make some pretense of enjoying being just ignored, okay, by the masses out there. And this is supposed to be a talk show. We're supposed to have these enthusiastic, loyal listeners get on the phone and, hey, what's going on? And, hey, guess what? The game really stunk. Or, man, do you remember in 72 when it rained for 400 years in a row? And what? Something, you know? These are supposed to be people who are alive or at least pretending.
So you're going to try it?
And I don't think that they're pretending anymore. I think they're finally fessing up to what the real story is here in the land of the walking dead.
Did you talk about air conditioners? A while ago?
No.
Did I talk about air conditioners? In other words, I missed the spot? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't miss it.
Well, he's got the word live there so many times, and he jams all of these in 1 hour. You know, it's just...
Oh, so you're going to talk about that now?
Oh,
Great.
sure. What the hell?
Good.
Why not?
Is that
We've been
okay?
talking about the weather and all. This is a good time.
Sure. No, I agree.
Is that all right?
Sure.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it.
We got traffic, too, when you're done.
Great, that's good. Well, maybe we won't take, because they're not all lit up. We got 5 lines ringing, but these people are dead. Maybe the show is passé. Maybe it's all over with, okay? And that's fine. We'll just come in every day and play bits.
Well, it's been fun.
I feel like somebody else I know, and like I said, it isn't a direct response to but when you come in the morning at 6 o'clock and nobody wants to talk to you, then that's a different story. That's a whole different ballgame. That's like a slap in the face, you know what I mean? Like that. It's like a kick in the ass.
What, we got 5 stinking phone calls?
Yeah, we got 6 stinking calls on there, on our 6 stinking lines. Now, Broward Heating and Air Conditioning is in South Florida to stay. They're no fools. Since 1956, Broward Heating and Air has served the fine folks of Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County with the same ownership, quality, and service. And now is the time to escape the insufferable heat and humidity with a brand new air conditioner from Tempstar. Tempstar air conditioning systems are designed for the future, but they're available now with advanced features, advanced efficiency, and there's a model and size just right for your home or office. Broward Heating and Air would like you to rely on the star, Tempstar, by Tempstar Cooling from now till July 15th. And Broward Heating and Air will throw in 5 years of worry-free parts and labor protection. And when you tell them that Neil Rogers sent you, they'll also give you a free permanent static air filter worth $125. Broward Heating and Air, serving West Palm to Miami. Call them toll-free, 1-800-525-5045. That's 1-800-525-5045. 12 minutes after 7 on Zeta 4.
You want to do traffic?
Yeah. Anything you want to do. That's up to you.
Eastbound 836 going toward the city is backed up bad. Also an accident at 112 west of 12th Avenue. 2 accidents southbound I-95. One is approaching Miami Gardens Drive, and another accident southbound 95 backing up traffic from 112 all the way to 79th Street. Also an accident at Oakland Park Boulevard and Inverary Boulevard, and an accident on Flamingo just north of Hollywood Boulevard.
That's all? See, I told you there was nobody out there, didn't I? I told you it was like a veritable ghost town. There are 2 blackbirds out here right now, okay? Singing Beatles songs on the lawn.